All right. Hey, we're live.
Oh, I thought we
Fantastic.
were going to be silent for like a minute
We're going to be silent?
so people could guess
What
what kind of financial
yeah.
changes we're making.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome to Running Totally Free. It is the 7th of February, 2016, and we just came back from week number 4 of Financial Peace University. And we're a little ill
Yeah.
this week, so we're a little under the weather. Actually, a lot under the weather. Gabe was really sick.
Yes.
Abby, Noah's sick. You got sick. I got sick. We both woke up just feeling awful.
Yes.
Today, so the sickness has visited our home. My mom was here for a few days to help out while you had a women's conference called the If Gathering.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was totally awesome.
Yeah.
God moved in a big way. And I just felt it was, as a mom, as a wife, as a child of God, I needed a time out, a time to be refreshed. And that's what I got. And to kind of get some new wind in my sail. And so now I'm just trying, in the midst of blowing my nose and coughing, trying to process everything I heard in the past 48 hours and see what God is trying to say is my next steps, our family's next steps. So.
So yeah, a lot of changes going on in our house. And it was great for Heather to be able to get away with her friend Brooke and all those ladies and have a time of seeking after the Lord. So that was awesome. This was our first week of using the cash envelope system.
Yes.
So I think on our broadcast last week, we showed how we took all of our money, or how we divided up the money we were going to use for envelopes. And I guess we could have had one this week. Well, we have envelopes, and each envelope says how much goes in the first paycheck, how much goes in the second check, or if one goes in one and not the other. So this week we had our first, real life experience living with envelopes. You want to talk about how things were for you?
Well, I have to say that at first I was a little bit embarrassed to pull out my Dollar Tree envelope. And I didn't tell Michael that until just this moment.
Yeah. Why? Why would you be embarrassed?
Because I don't know. I guess it was
clear plastic.
And it was better, I think, than the paper.
Artistically accented, colored envelope.
Yeah. But it was kind of like making an announcement to the world that, yes, I am on the Dave Ramsey system. Our family has made our declaration.
With our clear envelope.
With our clear envelope. And I guess the size that I bought is rather large, so kind of pulling it out of the purse was kind of interesting. So in and of itself, but that's all right. I got over myself. This is, this whole thing is a lesson in humility. So I welcome the humbling experiences. So it's okay.
Actually, this is the second week for gas, or for groceries, right? Didn't 2 weeks ago? You took cash out.
Yeah, but I still had money. I just had the money in my wallet.
Money was commingled.
Yeah.
So now it was exclusively for whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever it was for.
Yeah, it was. It was cohabitating with other money.
And
so we got to use because Gabe had has had a nasty rash on his behind, and we tried some creams and stuff and had given it a week before we called, we're like thinking of calling the doctor. And so
he was just in horrible
discomfort. If you brought him anywhere close to the changing table, he started crying because he knew what was coming. So it was a good experience to be able to go to the doctor and actually have an envelope that was for doctor visits. It's actually called that.
Yeah.
And be able to pull out cash rather than giving my debit card. and or a credit card. And then it was also great to then be able to go to the store and buy the medications that were suggested both for him and actually for us for these colds as well. So
Yeah, and we used all of, I don't know the doctor visit money, but we used all the money that was in the medication envelope because we just started accumulating this week. So the money we put in, we spent, and we actually went over $1.50 when I went to Publix today to get us Dayquil and NyQuil, or the Publix brand equivalent, and cough drops. So I had to put that $1.50 on the debit card, which didn't feel good. I felt like I was doing something
like you're cheating.
wrong. I was doing something wrong. I was like, well, that $1.50, it had a name for something else, and now I just used it for medicine. So I feel like I need to put $1.50 and change back in the bank because I took from someone else. That $1.50 was going to something.
Yeah.
Not medication.
You're not supposed to let your envelopes commingle.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think there's another name for it, but anyway.
Yeah, they're supposed to remain.
You're supposed to stay single.
Separate. I don't know what happens when they get together.
They cause all kinds of problems.
Yeah. Like, hey, this is
illegitimate children.
This is great. How about if you and I were to get together and make some debt?
That's right. And make debt children.
Yeah. So you gotta keep them. Keep them alone. Keep them alone.
Right. Oh man.
For me, I had my cash envelope for gas, and that was interesting because I was, when you don't know exactly how many gallons are left when it's near empty.
That's true.
So I didn't want to overpay and then be like, hey, can I have $3.50 back? I didn't use it. So I had to get my calculator on my phone and look online, like how many gallons does this have? And with the low gas prices, I got $20 thinking that was going to be 16 gallons, I think. And it was like all the way to the top full. So I was a little nervous that I was, so the next time I'm going to go under a little bit because I don't want to.
But honestly,
I'm sure other people have had this experience that they paid too much and then they have to go back inside and be like,
can you funnel it back out of my gas tank?
Well, no, it's just, I didn't pump it. Can I get a rebate for?
I
Or you have to
see
wait
what
for the
you're
next guy to
saying.
pull up and be like, hey, I've got a $3.50 credit. Can you give me $3.50 and I'll pump you some gas? I don't think that's gonna happen. So anyway,
Sorry,
paying for gas with cash is, there's some other challenges that I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah, I wouldn't even thought of that.
We were going to go to a Super Bowl party today, but then everyone was sick and we didn't want to get all of the people at the party sick.
Hi, we're Heather and Michael Clark, and here's a cold for you.
Yeah. So,
so nice to meet you.
We kept money aside because I made Chex Mix that we were going to bring.
Yes, we put that aside in our grocery envelope
budget.
With the anticipation of bringing food.
But as it turned out, we got to share it with one of the moderators of our FBU class. Yeah. So Phil, I hope you're enjoying that.
And anybody else, whoever.
I think it's pretty good. I think this is my best batch. Yeah, I feel like I really nailed all the proportions, all the butter. Yeah, I mean this is really good. It's like crack. You can't stop. You won't stop until it's all gone. I have a tray of it at home. And
we need to put the cover back on so that we will eat dinner first before we fill up.
It'll be gone before the end of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
this evening. Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my experience with the cash envelopes, paying for medicine, paying for the Chex Mix, and then paying for gas.
Right. And then the other thing too was I shop because of Michael's work schedule. He doesn't leave till later on Thursdays. So I had kind of chosen to break up our school week by having Tuesday, Wednesday is school. We're off on Thursday, and then we're school on Friday and Saturday because we teach year round. We school year round. So Wednesday night, I was like, that's when I'm gonna plan for this week's menu. Well, lesson learned. Maybe it also had a little bit to do with the fact that we were also like preparing for the conference or the gathering and all that too. But I felt a lot of stress on Wednesday night thinking, okay, this is what we're doing. This is where the rubber meets the road. I've got to figure out how to feed us for a week where nobody feels deprived. And in the back of my mind, you know, we're buying diapers, we're buying wipes, we're buying like household cleaning products like laundry detergent and dishwashing detergent, you know, stuff like that. And I haven't learned yet what I have to put aside each week. So when it comes time to renew the diapers, I can do that it'll be fully funded without making a huge gash in what's available for the food. So Wednesday night, I had a lot of anxiety about that. So thankfully, since the kids were able to be home with Michael, I was able to stop at a lot more places and kind of get an idea of what some things cost that I had no idea about. So by the time I made Aldi my last stop, I was able to more confidently know that what was left in my envelope, I really could use it. And so I was a little embarrassed, but then like I said earlier, I had to just get over myself. And once I had my cart all full and I had written down what everything cost, even as I was in the store on the things I wasn't sure, I wrote it down when I put it in the cart. I then sat there with the calculator on my phone and I added it all up so I wouldn't be at the cash register saying, oh,
you don't have enough money.
I don't have enough money. I tried to save myself the embarrassment of that. Not that that should be embarrassing. I know plenty of people will do that. They'll be like, oh, we can't do that.
I feel like I saw a program somewhere where you can do all of your shopping ahead of time and it like pulls real time prices.
That would be awesome.
I feel like it was like a part of a bar scanner app.
I did look for an Aldi price list to see if anybody out there in the blogging world had like current prices for Aldi, because I know a lot of women do that, and maybe men do too. That could be. And I did find one, but it was for a different state and it was from last year. And you know, it's amazing is how much the prices have changed in just a year. It was scary, like how much inflation already has hit. And maybe seasonally, I don't know when she put that up, but so that's, I'm learning that I have to have a price list together. So what I'm doing now is I've been saving all my Aldi receipts from previous weeks. And when I'm doing my grocery list, I write down from those previous receipts what I think it'll cost. Now, if you've ever shopped at Aldi, you know that might be give or take 10, 20 cents, but it's a lot closer than having no idea at all. So lessons learned about grocery shopping.
Yeah, I'll have to work on that. I was thinking while you were talking that maybe eventually we're going to have what we talked about was a grocery budget and then cleaning supplies budget and then laundry, like I almost think to break them up. Yeah.
The envelopes even.
Because, yeah, I think it's going to be real hard over time to track because, you know, you don't buy detergent every week. You know, how often do you get detergent? How often do you get Windex? You know, scrubby pads.
Right.
You know, they're expenses you have and they incur them over time, but it's not, you can't plan for those every week. So,
right.
You know, to know how much you spend each week for food, it just seems like you can control that one a lot better.
Yeah.
If you take the variables out. I don't know. I mean, that's a project.
And I'm a person who I've tried to make my own laundry detergent. I've tried to make my own Windex, but I'm right now in a season of life where every second counts. So there's just things I've had to face up to the fact that I have to buy them.
I mean, people for centuries cleaned with water. Right?
And a lot of them died earlier too.
No, they used streams and rocks.
So we could do that. I mean,
And like,
Noah tells us
I
we
mean,
have
come on.
a stream and a river
So,
back there. So I should just get my hiney
in
out
the-
there and start doing the wash.
in the Middle Ages.
I mean, God knows we're not using the heat anymore, right, Michael?
Yeah, exactly. So in the Middle Ages,
We have a fire behind the
Yeah.
computer right now.
in the Middle Ages, people didn't even have glass. They didn't have to clean that. Right? I don't think they did. I mean,
All
they,
these
well, you probably had
unnecessary
glass, but I mean, did people
complications
have
we
like
put in
glass
our life.
with glass windows? In if you were like a peasant out in the countryside, they just had wooden windows and doors, just a broom.
Something to add to Noah and Abby's chore charts.
Yeah. Anyway, water. Water for the floors, water for the clothes. I'm sorry, Kenny, my shirt is not as clean as it looked normally. I don't have money for.
And we
stay in
wonder why
spot
we're
for a
sick,
minute.
because somebody isn't using soap.
No, well, it's salt, right? I mean, salt is probably cheaper than soap.
Mm-mm.
Or just exfoliate with like kosher salt.
There you go.
All right,
Figure it
so long-term planning for
So
wipes and diapers. That's
I
what
think
we
I
were
kind of
talking
addressed
about.
that. Yeah.
Debt snowball. So this week, the class we just came from really tackled debt and talking about credit card debt and how bad debt is, and whether you have a car loan or whether you have a credit card, it's the same. It's the same thing. You owe money to someone,
Right.
and how we want to be completely debt free, even debt on the home, which friends of ours are.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Stephen, Kimberly,
Robinson. Yay.
I think,
Stephen, Kimberly.
I don't know, a year and a half ago, is it? I think that they became totally debt free, including
They're like our
house.
heroes,
Yeah,
our
they
local
are.
heroes.
They are.
And they're very humble. Like,
Mhm.
they don't put that stuff out there. Like, they're not like, hey, we're Kim and Steve, and by the way, we're so debt free.
But they should. They
They
do that.
should, though, because they are amazing.
They should just put that on the side of the car.
They
We're
should.
debt free.
They should.
This car drives so much better because it's debt free.
It's debt free.
This house, big sign in the front yard. They have yard of the month.
This house paid for.
Debt free home.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I know.
That's pretty nice. That's a nice house to live in when it's debt free. So anyway, that was class today, talking about how nice it would be to actually be debt free and what you have to get there. And the final thing in our homework was to go over, have a budget meeting and go over our debt snowball and where we're at. And we kind of jumped a little bit ahead because we dealt with that last week. But I want to give an update kind of where our debt is right now. So this was last week. I pulled this out and I talked about how we've paid off everything on here except for this Reiner's bill, which we have money for. We're just waiting for that to come in. Everything else on there has been paid off, and we're down to these three debts on the bottom. So there were some minimum payments that were associated with these that we paid off, and now those minimum payments are going down to our last three debts. So we've kind of really accelerated our debt snowball. Some of these were just one-time debts, like homeowners. We owed our homeowners association dues at a rental home and here for this coming year. So that was in this because it was just a debt we were going to have. If we didn't pay, they were going to come looking for us. But some of them were small medical bills. Some were some expenses of repairs done on our rental home. So we've paid all those, and we're down to three debts. And I was going to see if I can get you a real time. I can give you those. So this is kind of where we're at. Real time right now. So my in-laws $6,500. Discover $6,553, and Citibank $13,850. I don't think this includes my last two minimum payments though, so that might be a little bit. But before we paid this month's debts, we're at $26,903. We started at the top there, which is $35,585
38. No.
$35,585. So,
Sorry.
so that's our current debt. We've paid off $8,682 in a few weeks,
Mhm.
and part of that was selling our car. And I tried to sit down. One of the projects was to sit down and see how long it would take you to pay off your remaining debt. I think we're at 24 months. We're going to be paying our debt snowball right now is $270 over here, which Lord willing would pay my in-laws every month and that gets paid off in 24 months. And then I think Discover Card, once we roll that 270 down to Discover Card, would be paid off in another 14, and then our Citibank in another 27 months. So that a total estimated payoff of 65 months, barring no additional money coming in, no sales of anything. But it, in my mind, we're going to work it much harder than that.
Right.
I have the opportunity to bonus in my job, and I'm believing, praying we're going to at least have some bonuses. I don't know every quarter we're going to bonus, but believing we're going to bonus. So all those bonuses will throw at the debt. Lord willing, a raise this year means more money every month. Maybe we come across some other stuff we can
Have a job
we can sell.
title change at some point.
What's that?
Have a job title
A
change.
job title, yeah. So I mean, what's the word when you get a job? Promotion.
Yes.
Promotion.
We have a lot of mucus up here.
Yeah. We've been praying for a promotion for a while. So bonuses and promotions could help reduce that 65-month
Really shorten it.
timetable, tremendously. And then our tax return next year. So I mean, we're gonna try to, as Dave says, be as gazelle intense as you can be. You could probably, you tell from the way we're dressed here, we've made some certain decisions in our home to be as gazelle intense as possible. So I was reading about these people in Antarctica that are following Dave Ramsey's plan, and they're living solely on heat from coal, burning coal in the middle of their living room, and they don't even burn it all day long. So we've made the decision in our home, we've cut the heat. As long as we're over 32 degrees, as you can see, we have our hat, our gloves, our winter jackets.
You're well prepared.
Our children are bundled up. We have a blanket right here. So we're 100% in, Dave. 100%
We are.
in.
We are full believers.
We're going to recycle our water. We've got
using rags for toilet paper now.
We got some tomato plants growing in the backyard. A little urine in the water isn't going to kill them. So I'm just kidding. We're 100% in.
I'm actually sweating.
We're 100% in. 100% in. No, we're not. We're not killing the heat in our home. This is a joke. This is a joke. We're not killing the heat. But if you do feel bad for us or our children,
we can give you our home insurance.
And you want to think that we are and send us money, that's okay. We'll take it. We're not above charity. At one point early in our marriage, we were above charity. We're no longer above charity. We accept all and every kind of charity. So we got some extra baby food or diapers laying around at your house. Send them our way. We don't do already eaten food.
Well, we haven't started dumpster diving yet.
But if you have leftover food that wasn't eaten, we'll take leftovers. That's fine. I mean, we're not.
Although you are in the restaurant business, so there's no shame in going through the restaurants, half-used food, and those cool people in New York City who go dumpster dive.
They do that in San Francisco. They dumpster dive and then they serve a meal once a week to the homeless folks. Which hey, if I'm homeless and I didn't have a meal, I'd be happy.
That'd be better than nothing.
Cook up stews with vegetables that were thrown out by restaurants. Pretty amazing. Okay. Anyway, so that's where we're at with that. One of the things that came up in the class, this scarf is just driving me crazy, was the idea about cutting up your plastic as an upcoming. I think David calls it a plastectomy. No, I mean we're not talking about.
You meant
not.
I looked at this very briefly. I thought he was talking about like Rubbermaid and like cutting up our meat in order to save.
No, we're not talking about.
Anyway,
I'm not talking about plastic containers. I'm talking about plastic in your wallets, and that's what they talked about this week, which I found very scary.
Yes, I could actually feel Michael's blood pressure rise because we were sitting so close together.
Yeah,
I knew it was. This is how long we've been married. Is that I could feel the storm starting to brew in his head, and I knew as soon as question time was going to come that Michael was going to be like, can I ask you something?
Yeah, so that's scary to me. As you know, we have a rental home, and we have the home that we own. We don't own any of them. We have 2 nice sized mortgages on these 2 houses.
Right.
So you have a lot of high ticket items. You know, you
and a whole other family depending on us.
Yeah,
to run that rental well.
AC units, 2 roofs.
Right. Appliances in those homes.
Appliances, yeah. So that just scares me to death. We have $1,000 emergency fund, but $1,000 isn't going to cover a tree coming down on your roof, which, hey, great, the homeowner people will run over to repair it, but in that first week you still got to do stuff. Or if the heating unit goes out in the winter, I mean, you don't have a choice, and the heating and air people aren't going to take an IOU. They're going to want money. So one of the moderators, Dave, talked about freezing your plastic.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't exactly sure what he meant. I didn't know if you were, at first, if you called like Experian and said, freeze my credit, please. No, he was actually talking about plastic in a block of ice. I know it sounds
People
crazy.
actually do this. If you've ever listened to the Dave Ramsey show.
Your plastic.
Like in a Rubbermaid container with water.
And put it in the freezer.
And
freeze it.
Because if you are that dangerous around your credit cards, that's what you do to slow yourself down.
And, part of it, as Phil was talking, and Dave was, this is a walk of faith as well.
Yeah.
And believing God's going to provide for you. Which I get that. I mean, we've had our faith moments in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
But that scares me. It scares me having, especially, being responsible to take care of everybody. We sold 1 car. We don't have another one to sell. So, I can't pedal to Atlanta. So the idea of freezing one of our credit cards in a block of ice in the freezer, actually until we get our 3, so we get to
the 3.
I think that's
to baby step number 3. You save 3 to 6 months worth of.
Yeah, I would feel a heck of a lot
savings.
More comfortable with 3 to 6 months in savings and going completely free and chopping it up than I do right at this moment. So that's a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that make you feel if we were to chop up all our credit cards? I mean, we're down to your mom and dad and Citibank and Discover.
Right.
So we'll be cutting up Citibank and Discover because I'm fine with cutting up Gap and Old Navy and our other Visa that we just paid off.
Right.
Actually, that's probably the lowest interest rate is the one we just paid off because it was how it felt in that Snowball. But I don't know, how would it make you feel? Chop them up right now and just be like, what? We're just believing Jesus. He's going to take care of us.
I tend to be the one who's like that, though. And so me, I'm just like, I just want to be. I feel like this weight has been on our shoulders since we lived back in the Heron Bay house. That I'm just ready to be cut loose of all this stuff. But I can totally respect how you feel, especially as the breadwinner in our family. And also the fact, because I hadn't thought about that perspective that you brought up tonight, which was that we have a family living in our rental home. so they're counting on us keeping up that place. And our other moderator said, at some point you just have to walk in faith and trust that God will provide. So I'm just willing to say tonight that, let's put the credit cards on ice. And if God is like, nope, not done with that part yet, then I just believe he'll push us further. God's patient with us. He loves us very much. He's patient with his children learning. That's
I'm going to keep an open heart, or try to keep an open heart and mind, and pray about it. And man, if I'm under conviction, then we should break the block ice and chop them up. And
have our ceremony with our children and go.
We're out there. We can, like I said, we can certainly, Old Navy and Target and the Gap, those, we can certainly have our plastectomy with those guys, even with those wonderful rewards points that the Gap and Old
really
Navy
suck in.
offered us. I mean, man,
we
spent
took that hook,
far
line,
more
and
money
sinker.
than we ever would have spent with those guys.
And in our minds, it was because we were paying they changed the wardrobe at Michael's work. They weren't wearing suits anymore. And as you have seen, he's lost a significant amount of weight, so he needed new clothes anyway. So we thought in our minds, I think we were justifying it as, well, he needs all this new clothing after all. But they really do suck you in when they keep sending you these 40% off coupons and these, about this sale before anybody else advertisements and the $5 off your next purchase or whatever. I mean, they just keep you going. I mean, you feel like you're doing something right. Just messed up.
Unfortunately, you don't have those benefits as a cash purchaser there.
No, you don't.
If we did have cash, we were paying with cash, man, it'd be great to take some of those benefits, but we're not going to exchange the benefits for putting things on a card.
Right.
If we can't pay with cash, we're not going to do it.
Yeah. And it was hard for me to part, ladies, with my Target red card. And our red card is even just a debit card. It's not even the credit card. I love Target.
Well,
and
I guess though
it basically pays for your tax.
I guess the thing is, if we're using, I didn't even think about that, but if you're using the Target, really it is a debit card because it's pulling the money directly out of your account. But you know what? But the only thing you'll be buying there is groceries, and we're not going to buy groceries unless we have cash. So I guess
the groceries, for the most part, still cost more at Target.
Yeah,
it's really only paying for the tax.
Yeah,
and there are some kind of statistics about how whenever you use plastic, and I don't remember it differentiating between credit card or debit.
47% more. They found out. McDonald's had found out. Their customers would come in, if they use plastic, they'd spend 47% more than they would as if they had spent cash.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's the same thing in buying whatever.
Right. And I know now some people would be, even Dave Ramsey himself still has a debit card that he uses for so he can rent, I think he said for rental cars because he travels so much and for hotel rooms. But I'm the kind of person, give me a plastic card and I will just assume there's money behind it, even if there's not. I am not trustworthy enough. So even if you tell me it's hooked up to our debit and tell me to try to keep track of how much I paid, I won't do it.
No,
so I'm only trustworthy with with cash. I need to feel pain right now. Who knows, 5 years from now, maybe that'll be a different story. But right now, I'm not fooling myself. I'm not fooling anybody. Yeah.
So we're, no more Target, no more of that stuff. We're paying with cash for as much stuff as we can because it's easier. Last week I went to the bank and I wrote a check for whatever the amount was, took that cash out, filled up our envelopes, and that was it. The money's there in the envelope, so it's not in the envelope. You can't spend it. We don't have it.
Right.
So we're gonna roll with this plan, and we do have an expenses coming up, which is our front brakes on our only vehicle needs to be repaired.
Right.
So I've done our front brakes previously on our Mazda minivan. And I think this one probably needs the rotors too. The only thing is if I try to fix it and I can't fix it, and now I don't have the car and it's up on jack stands, I've got an issue. So maybe I'll see if my next door neighbor Rob can assist me.
Yeah, he's
Or-
very handy.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like
and he's
that
a
would be.
genuinely nice
I mean,
man.
I've done them before. It'd be nice to have somebody here to kind of be like, hey, yeah, you don't want to do that or do this.
Right.
So that's an expense, man. We have money that's going into car repairs, but we have we're all 1 month's full. It's not going to cover new rotors and new brake pads. So, I'm not sure. We might be dipping into the emergency fund month number 1.
But in this case, right now, in this scenario where we just started and we only have one vehicle to get him to work, this is an emergency if it comes to that. But we're going to try everything else we can to not have to do that.
Look for some more stuff to sell
and
this
look
week.
for more stuff to sell this week. That was definitely one of our things we wrote down. And by the way, and we'll keep you updated on what we end up doing with the brake situation. But a lot of people have asked me this week, so how is one car life? And just as of today, right? As of today, it's officially a week.
That's right.
This sure really was a test. What a week to jump into as our first week, because with Gabe's rash, I overreacted on Wednesday night and was like texting my husband at work, what are we gonna do? I need to get groceries and I need to return our library books or we're gonna have fines. And the baby needs to see the doctor and I'm gonna be doing the IF gathering. I'm not gonna be able to get him to the doctor. I mean, I was like a mess. But after some sleep and the next morning praying and just like calming down, I came up with a couple ideas of things to try. And I actually ended up, during my errands on Thursday, brought a picture of what Gabe's little Heiner looked like. Heiner. Yeah, his little Heiner. And showed it to the nurse to find out from them if they thought I should go in or if maybe there was something I still could be doing at home, which I highly advise. Just taking a little time to think about medical stuff before you make decisions. And that's probably the topic of that'd be another really good thing to discuss in another one of these times. But anyway, so she did say indeed we needed to come in, and she was able to see us right away on Friday morning. So it all worked out in the end.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And then of course I was part of the IF gathering, and when people hear you have a need, they want to help. And so
someone gave us
$1,000. No, I wish I had that good news. However, my friend Brooke lent me one of their vehicles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that it started on Friday night, so that I could drive home that night and then be able to come in the early morning to be there for the rest of the conference. And then Michael drove me there on the way into work, and his mother picked me up at the end. So it all worked out, It definitely, but one car life, having also talked with other people who are in the same situation, it requires thinking ahead. All of this actually requires thinking ahead. It requires communication between, you and your spouse and whoever else is involved. It requires knowing your schedule ahead of time, and not being, once again, this seems to be the common theme, not having too much pride to say, I need help.
That's true. I need help. I need a lot of help. Mental help. They might
already think that about us.
There were benefits, though, to going to one vehicle. Our car insurance went down $30 a month.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the gas savings has been, but
it'll be something.
It's something. And just the repair costs on having a second vehicle. We spent $1,200 on repairing the emissions on the car we sold. If we had been a one vehicle car this last year, we'd have $1,200 less in debt because that went on a credit card.
Right.
So there are, we're working through some stuff, but there are benefits to what we're doing as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think the football game, has it started already? What time is it? Oh, Yeah, the football game's 13 minutes old, so.
We missed the commentary.
Yeah, oh well.
So, but we promised our kids we'd have family time doing that. We've got some dinner to eat, some Chex Mix to devour, and we really could use some family time. We've all been going in different directions all
That's
weekend.
true.
So thanks for listening. We really appreciate the couple new subscribers we got this week.
Yeah,
and if you would just spread the word, because we just have, as we've talked with people, we've come to realize there's a lot of people who have not heard of Dave Ramsey or they've heard of him. And either way, they just know that their financial situation needs to change. So if you would let them know about us, we just think it would be, we want to help other people, because if it weren't for other people having done it ahead of us and letting us into their lives, I don't know that we'd even be here vlogging at all.
True.
So please spread the word and subscribe so we know that you're watching. Let us know if there's other things you want us to talk about, because we will.
Sure.
Yeah. So have a great night.
Have a great night.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Fun Super Bowl.